Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee, and we are ready for game day.
I am in my official mode as non-sports fan, clueless pretty much, so I am aided by my wonderful consort and wife here who knows quite a bit more about the game.
And I am wearing my Hail to the Victors shirt because, it is the Super Bowl. Let's face it, I have no stake in this whatsoever. I watch little football here and there to try to keep up with things. I used to watch it a lot growing up. So I don't, and of course our local team, the Detroit Lions, are not there. So I'm not picking sides.
They may never be there.
I feel that both teams, the Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles, and the Kansas City Chiefs, have earned the right to be here. And I expect a well-fought game, an exciting game, and may the best team win. That's what I say.
Absolutely. I can't disagree with that. And it's certainly a lot of fun, and we have a lot of fun with it. I don't even have to be a sports enthusiast of any sort to realize that there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of fun. It's all in fun. It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game.
So welcome to our Super Bowl predictions. And, feel free to comment, feel free to criticize, but be kind. Like I said, we are very pedestrian players. We're going to see what our tarot cards and our intuition might tell us about who will win the game. Right. And hey, if you watch Jimmy Fallon at night and you watch the dogs choose the winners of these big ball games, you kind of get the idea of what we're trying to do here with cards.
It's not like we're making big money and going to go away, on a cruise after this. So
here we go. We're going to shuffle them up, focus on the Super Bowl here, as we do, Eagles and Chiefs, and we're going to get the show on the road. Oh, why don't you hold it up? Using today...
Yes, for this occasion, we are going to use the Clarity Tarot. It's a newer deck, very nice box. We think it has a symbology or a design that would be helpful.
I don't know, but I do feel it is helpful, and it will be fun to use.
The deck was created by Deborah Zakhan and Kate Matthews and produced by, I guess, their own imprinter.
It may be.
Yes, because I don't see anything
other. I'm not sure, but I think it
printed
may be.
in India.
Yeah.
ISBN 978-0-7643-63733. And once again, that's the Clarity Tarot. It's
too
beautiful.
Much info probably for most of you watching, but we're library people. Shuffle, Mr. O, and
Mr.
cut
O
them.
Will shuffle. Beautiful gilt edges.
The Super Bowl winner is now in your hands.
We should mention that this is our Fantastic Four. This is the fourth time that we are doing this, and our first two times we were spot on. We were
scored a win.
Yep.
Scored 2 wins.
Last year we did not do that well, of course.
So I've changed up the reading a bit. It's a little more involved. We're going to look at different angles of the game as best we can with the tarot and see if we can't come up with a definitive winner here.
All right.
All right.
Putting the last.
And please
shuffle.
Don't bet your money on these cards. This is just for entertainment purposes only.
That's right. Don't make me show my disclaimer screen.
You will.
I will.
Okay. Well, let me just pop up my screen here with the reading template. Position 1 is just an overview and a look at both teams pre-game. And by the way, we are doing this reading the Friday before the Super Bowl, February 10th. Okay, this is for the Eagles. I was doing it in alphabetical order. Well, Philadelphia. I guess I didn't think of that. I'm just going by their names. And then the Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs. Holy moly. Wow, we got the Queen of Cups on one hand and the Ace of Cups on the other. You know, it's really interesting to me because I don't believe this is Kansas City's first foray into the Super Bowl here. I'm pretty sure about that. But the Eagles might have been. I'm not sure, I'll be honest with you, but I will say this, that each team is emotionally prepared for this game. You know, the Chiefs, for some reason, are really gun-ho. They think that they're ready to really bring it. You know, this is like beginnings. The Ace of Cups is beginnings card. What do you have to say?
It feels like they feel like they're the favorite, and I don't know if they're the favorite, but in their hearts and minds, they're the favorite, or they feel their fans may feel that way. But over on the other side,
royalty.
Maybe they feel that they're royalty. Maybe that they feel that they're bountiful, and that they have a wonderful fan base too.
Oh, yeah, right. It could be this is about the fans, but I really think it's emotional preparedness. And in a way, the Eagles may have a little bit of an advantage of maturity here with that than with the Ace of Cups. But the Ace of Cups just has such enthusiasm and joy. So it's a very interesting start we're off to here.
All right.
Position 2, on the offensive. How do each team's offense stand up against the other? And trust me, I haven't been keeping up with this a lot, but I do know, I have heard that both quarterbacks on each side are kind of recovering from injuries, I believe, and they're supposed to be in shape and ready to go. So let's see what the offensive looks like here. This is, of course, for the Eagles first.
And it's the 10 of Wands, but it's reversed. Okay.
The Hermit reversed.
And that's the Chiefs.
No, yes, correct.
And that's the Hermit reverse. So right away, though, what I feel with the first one, this is from the team perspective.
This is on the offense. How is their offense going to do?
Well, they feel like they have removed some burdens, or they feel like they have kind of shifted away some burdens in some way, that they sort of have cleared the way to be really energized.
How would you read the Hermit reversed in the situation for the Chiefs?
They may be feeling that maybe their strategy is more common, but it's winning, and that it's really about projecting outward from maybe, their more theory, strategy points of view. It's just about taking it out there.
Yeah, that's really interesting here. I think with the 10 of Wands reversed, it might be saying the Eagles are ready to move more freely now. It seems to me their offense might do, I'm just looking at this before I pull the defensive cards, but it looks as though they might be more ready to move the ball against the Kansas City defense. Maybe they've got some good strategies in place for moving that ball. And also, maybe the burden of their injuries, like the quarterback's injuries, are not going to definitely be a factor here.
Right, enough healing time has happened, and or other, situations.
So I think both teams have a strategy. I guess I didn't talk about the Hermit here. I like what you said about that Hermit. I feel as though maybe they have been really thinking a lot about, strategy here, the offense, on how to meet, the Eagles defense. I'm not sure if I heard this right or not, but something's ringing a bell with me, so maybe some of you out there can correct me. But I think that the Eagles may have a more superior defense going for them, and so maybe the Chiefs have been working hard on figuring out how they're going to, get the offense is going to match that.
Interesting.
All right. So let's go on to position 3, on the defensive. How do each team's defense stand up against the other? And let's start with the Eagles. Well, we got the 3 of Wands reversed here. We got the 4 of Cups reversed here.
A lot of reverse cards.
Yes, but it's interesting,
too.
It is. Because now reversals are bad for those of you who aren't aware of tarot cards. So, and in this case, that does hold true. I feel here that the defense may not be. I'm wondering here if this plays into what I said about, the Chiefs' offensive strategy. The defense might not have prepared well enough to match what they've got, what they're going to have coming. Maybe there'll be some holes here in the defensive strategy.
It looks like it's a planning thing, and like maybe they short-shirted themselves.
Short-shrifted themselves.
Short-shrifted themselves.
I knew what you meant.
Yes, thank you.
And, what's interesting here is the Four of Cups is reversed for the Kansas City Chiefs in the defense. And what I feel that means is their defense might find opportunities. And what do I mean by opportunities? Maybe they'll take advantage of some fumbles or interceptions, or just some, they'll have opportunities to block more of the plays. I think that the advantage defensively goes to the Chiefs in this.
I like that. I get the feeling that maybe the opportunities are really more along a narrow set, that they review options. Football has a lot of strategy going on, and they find the right one, or that's what their intention is.
So far, I just want to say here that with the offense, I feel as though they're fairly evenly matched. That's what it looks like, that it's going to be a fairly even matchup. With the defense, I'm giving a slight advantage to Kansas City, which might fly in the face of the wisdom that's out there right now.
Yeah, I don't know that.
All right. Sorry. Okay, on the sidelines, what about coaching strategies? How are each side matching up? Let's take a look at that in more depth here. So we have for the Eagles, we've got the Five of Swords reverse.
Uh-oh. You know what I think that means.
And also, though, we have the King of Cups reversed on the Kansas City side.
And that's also reversed, yes. So to me, this almost looks like a take no prisoner strategy. This looks like be about as brutal as you can be, a physicality thing. And, a lot of people have said that about football, that it just seems like a lot of times the intention is to actually do physical harm to the other people. I know they say it differently than that, but that's what it's looked like to me.
And, excuse me.
Be rough.
I couldn't agree more with that, actually. I could not agree more with that. It's kind of like this no holds barred, take no prisoners. And so I wonder here if that's going to be an effective strategy, because remember, we talked about defensively there being some problems. So I hope that, on the one hand, this may work to some degree, but it also could cause more penalties. And the other team can take advantage of that, of course. So, there may be penalties because of roughness, whatever, some of the more heavy penalties, and that could be problematic. Here with the Kansas City team, I think there might be some dissension among some of the coaches with strategy here, which is unusual. Obviously, I'm sure the head coach has the final say or whatever, but there may be some difficulties getting on the same page here. Or maybe they just are taken aback by some of this no hold bars approach here, and they're floundering a little bit. But so I think maybe on this side, I think coaching strategies are going to be more important. On this side, I really feel what's shaping up here is how the players play the game.
Well, I think some of this could be about, the response, or in terms of refereeing coaching, is about maybe toughening it up.
Okay.
A sense of just, you're dealing with it, you're toughening it up, especially if these guys are ramping it up.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That could be the reaction. They may actually, be reacting in kind to what they're seeing here and finding a way to counter that. That's interesting. I like that. So think about what we both said here in that regard. All right. Role of refereeing. We're only drawing one card on this, but as a fan, what do I want to call it? Armchair fan, occasional fan of the Detroit Lions, I have seen some bad refereeing really mess with the Lions, who've had enough problems of their own, let alone bad calls by referees. So let's see what Red says about the refereeing in the game. Strength reversed.
And I'm going to throw that right in the middle there like that.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Well, it sounds to me like maybe they're going with the idea that there's a certain amount of aggressiveness that is acceptable or that is not necessarily impacting.
So maybe they won't call some of these penalties.
There may not be as many penalties, or there may be kind of a more blasé look at it in general.
Yeah,
this could also work for them too, in a way.
I'm kind of concerned about their decision making. There will definitely probably be some disputed, Of course, there's always in games today, people replaying the action and having the refs relook at the plays. There may be some of that, more of that this time, but I feel that he's right overall. There will be questions about some of this. Yeah, and maybe that they might be slacking off on some of the more rougher stuff. We'll see.
6.
Will this be a close, hard-fought game? Throwing one card on this again to see if we can figure that out from what we've seen so far. Well, it's interesting. It's the 10 of Swords reversed. And I just wanted to see one thing here. And this card is listed as a yes card. I just want to say that. This particular deck I am using, offers tips for yes, no type questions like this one. Will it be a close, hard-fought game? They say yes. And I'm wondering if they're saying that because it looks as though these teams are ready. They're ready for this game. They've been through a grinding season, a difficult season, and they're ready to meet each other head on. And from what I can tell so far, it really, really looks like this is a very, very even matchup. So yes, I think it's going to be a close-fought, hard-fought game. I'm just not sure if it's going to be a low-scoring or a high-scoring game yet.
The 10 of Swords in the tarot terminology does talk a lot about conflicts and strife. All of the swords do in that suit.
Yeah.
And so being reversed, I think it's really saying that there's almost, the sense of one and the other really hard fought. Absolutely.
They've both been through it. Teams at this level, of course, and, you make it to the finals like that. You've gone through the playoffs. You've gone through a whole grueling season. This card is very apropos for that, but it's also saying,
it approaches ultimate enemy on either side.
They're both very, very competent. So now we're going to draw 2 cards again to look at which team might likely win the game. Let's see what we've got. The Eagles, of course, are going to be first. Ooh, we got the High Priestess upright. Oh, we got the 3 of Pentacles upright.
Oh, no. What are we going to decide?
Well, this one says yes and no, which is interesting to me. But I have to say here, this is such an even matchup. This is going to be a really, really close call. I feel that the 3 of Pentacles here is a tough act to follow, in my mind. Even though the High Priestess is a major arcana card, a high-powered card in her own right, I feel here, if the Kansas City Chiefs really work as the well-honed unit they've shown themselves to be all season long, they will take this game. Teamwork and how well each side does, but it looks like the advantage is right here on the Chiefs side, will make them the winners of the game. I will go back and talk about that too.
Well, it would be hard for me to articulate it the way you do because you know much more about the sporting world than I do. But I feel that is true for the most part.
What do you think about the High Priestess? Or you want me to go ahead?
No, I think the High Priestess sort of indicates, maybe just for the context of the cards, that the level of maybe secret strategies or ideas that are not exactly covert, attitudes amongst team players or attitudes.
Instinct, right?
Okay, there you go.
Player, I didn't want to cut you off, so.
No, you did it masterfully.
But that, I feel, is what the Eagles' strong point is going to be in this game. When they act on instinct, and also, they're able to read what the other players' next moves are going to be, could give them the edge. But just looking at some of the things I saw here with the hole in defense and stuff, it's going to be a hard-fought, close game. I'm going to give the edge to them.
I just think some of this is going to backfire on them. Mm-hmm. I think that they're still hard playing and all that stuff, but I just think some of those things, the hole in their defense, etc., is going to backfire on them ultimately. It may be a really close game.
Now, like I said, yesterday and today, I think mostly today, for the first time, I was hearing a little bit more and paying attention to things about the Super Bowl and the teams. And I think that I've already heard some people are predicting, that it's going to be the Eagles. So I'm not doing this just to go against the grain here. I just feel from what I've seen here, there is an edge slightly to the Kansas City Chiefs. I do like Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback. I will say that. I think he is really a very excellent quarterback. I'm very picky about my quarterbacks. Just want to say. But I think he's got so much talent. I'm not as familiar with the Eagles quarterback, I will admit. So this will be an interesting game for me to watch.
I'm not familiar at all with any of this.
Yeah. And he did okay here. He did fine.
Aw, shucks.
Well, everybody, I want to thank you for joining us for our Super Bowl prediction. We're going to make sure we get it out tomorrow, the day before the Super Bowl, and we'll just have to live with the results. Fingers crossed we've got it right again this year. But to both teams and their fans, I wish you the best of luck. May the best team win, and may it be fair. All right. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.